pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes 2 to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Many people, after they've been in a couple for some time, will privately admit that they are, in many ways, frustrated and disappointed by the person they've chosen to share their lives with. If pressed for details, they will have no difficulty coming up with a list. Their partner, they might complain, is too loyal to their irritating family, or doesn't share their views on the layout of the living room, or never wants to go on camping holidays, or plays tennis every Wednesday evening no matter what, or doesn't like Moroccan food, or doesn't share their enthusiasm for 19th century Russian novels, or has a habit of adding actually to every second sentence when it's actually redundant. As the list gets longer, they sigh. They still love their partner, and they long to be happy together. It's just that it seems impossibly complicated to make this relationship work. What's driving the frustration is not that they've sadly fallen for an idiot as a mate. It's rather that we have all inherited needlessly complicated ideas of what a relationship is supposed to be for. We are told that love is meant to involve the almost total merger of two lives. We expect that a loving couple must live in the same house, eat the same meals together every night, share the same bed, go to sleep and get up at the same time, only ever have sex with or even sexual thoughts about each other, regularly see each other's families, have all their friends in common, and pretty much think the same thoughts on every topic at every moment. It's a beautiful vision, but a hellish one too, because it places an impossibly punitive burden of expectation on another human. We feel the partner must be right for us in every way, and if they're not, has to be prodded and cajoled into reform. But there is another perspective. Relationships don't have to be so complicated and ambitious if we keep in view what in the end actually makes them fulfilling. If we boil matters down, there might really just be 3 essential things that we want from a lover. Firstly, kindness. A partner who is gentle with our imperfections and can good-humouredly tolerate us as we are. Secondly, shared vulnerability. Someone with whom we can be open about our anxieties, worries, and the problems that throw us off balance. Someone we don't have to put on a good front for. Someone around whom we can be weak, vulnerable, and honest, and who will be the same around us. Thirdly, understanding. Someone who is interested in and can make sense of certain obscure features of our minds, our obsessions, preoccupations, and ways of seeing the world, and whom we are excited to understand in turn. If we have these 3 critical ingredients to hand, we will feel loved and essentially satisfied, whatever differences then crop up in 100 other areas. Perhaps our partner's friends or routines won't be a delight, but we will be content. Just as if we lack these emotional goods and yet agree on every detail of European literature, interior design, and social existence, we are still likely to feel lonely and bereft. By limiting what we expect a relationship to be about, we can overcome the tyranny and bad temper that bedevils so many lovers. A good, simpler, yet very fulfilling relationship could end up in a minimal state. We might not socialize much together. We might hardly ever encounter each other's families. Our finances might overlap only at a few points. We could be living in different places and only meet up twice a week. Conceivably, we might not even ask too many questions about each other's sex life. But when we would be together, it would be profoundly gratifying because we would be in the presence of someone who knew how to be.
See, oh Lord, listening to these topics just gets me riled up. This is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, live on KBLA Talk 1580. He basically said adulting in a relationship, being mature in a relationship, is understanding that you're in a relationship with another human being. And by understanding that, you're going to understand that that person is not going to like everything that you like. That person is... You remember previous shows where I would say, you're not looking to be in a relationship. You're actually looking for a fit. And you've heard me say, your unaddressed, unrequited childhood wounds are actually in a leadership position in your soul, within your soul. It's doing the choosing. It's doing the choosing. Nzinga brings up a great point. Equally yoked is stressful. Yet people think because you're equally yoked, it's going to be smooth sailing. No. Just like yesterday when we were talking about attachment styles. And you have to understand the metaphor that was used for yesterday's show. And the metaphor was, please understand that classism is discrimination. So everybody by default wants to lean in and say, well, you know what? I'm securely attached. They want to see themselves as special. And what I'm saying is, even the so-called securely attached people, they've got issues. They've got problems. They're just more securely attached than the other maladaptive attachment styles. So everybody, see, do you understand what I'm saying? I deserve. No, you deserve to finish your work. That's what you're here for. And any work you put into yourself, that will deliver what you deserve externally, right? Heal your childhood wounds. You address the toxic relationship that raised you, right? Examining adulting in relationship. What does it mean to be an adult? Well, you do understand that chronological age does not indicate maturity. And we know people that are of an adult chronological age, but still ain't got their life together and have no motivation to get their life together. That's one type of maturity, right? But then there's another type. There's a spiritual maturity. The spiritual maturity. And you know, I don't like using the Westerners, even though we lean on them a lot, Western science. But a lot of the Western scientists got their ideas and inclinations from ancient mysticism. So, you know, you take somebody like Niels Bohr. He studied Hinduism, Taoism, Buddhism. You know, he studied all of that. And that gave him some insight into the world of physics. Or you take Abraham Maslow, same thing. So when you know, Carl Jung, right? When you start talking about spiritual maturity, you know, it gets recontextualized for Western consumption as maybe self-actualization. You know, the hierarchy of needs, at the top of it is self-actualization, right? Spiritual maturity understands the complexity of the human condition and then understands how to administer grace to oneself and grace to those they interact with. That's spiritual maturity. Spiritual maturity is understanding that, you know, a lot of things are happening, whether they feel good or not, for our highest good, right? There are hidden reasons. Spiritual maturity understands how to pause and say, I don't know why this is happening right now. And just because I don't know why doesn't mean that there isn't a reason for it happening. Let me be patient. Let me be still. And let me allow the universe, God, or whatever name you use, to deliver this answer to me. I may not have it, right? So when you adult in relationships, you recognize I'm dealing with an entirely different person. In my book, The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship, I talked about how a lot of people do not understand that although we're in a relationship, we don't learn at the same time. We don't process at the same time or in the same way, right? We don't come to a particular understanding or a particular revelation at the same time as our partner, right? Sometimes we think because we're together, we're doing everything together, and that's just not true, right? Your partner has their own set of issues, and you reflect those back to them. You have your own set of issues, and you reflect those back to your partner, and there's this understanding that's happening. And sometimes it's hard to grasp this understanding, right? Why did I choose this person? Why did this person choose me? How did this person get into my life? Well, this person represents your current level of spiritual development or lack thereof. And they are in your life to grow you up spiritually. Do this is what adulting is, right? We talked about attachment styles yesterday, right? We were very clear, right? You've heard me mention this ever since she said it, ever since she was a guest on the show, Dr. Jashana Johnson, when she talked about that the book. What's the name of the book? Is it Love Languages? What is it? The 4 love languages or whatever? She was like, I don't necessarily agree with the 4 love languages. She said, because the love languages are actually coming out of what the adult didn't get as a child. So we turn these into a language, which is really a way to articulate expectations of others. I'm going to need you to be like this because I didn't get this when I was a child. I'm going to need you to understand this because I didn't get understanding when I was a child. Do you get what I'm saying? Being an adult in relationship, sure, it has a lot to do with social mobility and where you should be at a certain age. Sure, it has a lot to do with that. We're not trying to marginalize that. But it also has a spiritual responsibility. Spiritual maturity is understanding that forgiveness, grace, compassion, consideration, collaboration, cooperation, all of these things are absolutely necessary for the maintenance of relating. Number 1, relating with oneself. Can't give it unless you gave it to yourself. Can't give it to others unless you've given it to yourself. Right? So all the things that I just labeled, the spiritually mature person gives these things to themselves. And guess what happens once you give these things to yourselves? You don't have to go out on Plenty Other Fish or any other social media dating site. You ain't got to do any of that. You become a magnet that draws in what you are. Now, don't get become a magnet, the terminology, misconstrued. You are always a damn magnet, whether you're healed or unhealed. The question is, which kind of magnet do you want to be? A healed one or an unhealed one? Or the infinite degrees in between that separate the two. When I come forward, we're going to get deeper into this topic of adulting in intimate relationships. You already know the number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. This is a non-judgmental space. I would love to hear your perspective and opinions on what I'm talking about.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
We must understand the politics of our community, and we must know what politics is supposed to produce.
This election year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the place for politics. Unapologetically progressive politics. And we've got 2 of the best and brightest to help you cut through all the noise. Weekdays at 1 p.m., it's A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nee Cordelai-Corte. And at 4 p.m., it's Areva Martin in Real Time. He's the university professor and distinguished member of the White House Correspondents Association. She's a best-selling author and Harvard-trained civil rights lawyer. And they are both here every day to help guide you through all the this year, because you know it's going to get deep. Get your politics on weekday afternoons at 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. with A More Perfect Union, hosted by Dr. Nee Cordelai-Corte and Areva Martin in Real Time, only on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your flag.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over, and if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So, no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Today's topic, it kind of spilled over from Monday. Adulting in relationships.
Give me the patience to deal with today.
Yeah.
Guide my tongue, oh Lord, Father.
Guide my words, eh?
That I did not say anything that is out of place and out of line.
Adulting.
For any female tones to go up
in relationships. Right?
Amen.
That's one of the things that we need to really emphasize on these days, guys. I really urge you, for those of you not in therapy, I urge you that you pray. Ask God for guidance. Ask God to keep your tongue still. Ask God to hold you in contempt of yourself. You understand? Because we know the stresses you go through every day facing these women and trying to navigate through life. Trying to find that balance between self and your significant other. Every day go on your knees and ask Heavenly Father to please hold you, guide you, and hold your words and your thoughts. Make sure that you are strong in self.
Amen.
Because dealing with them, adulting in a relationship is one of the hardest things in the world.
Right, let me train my prayer for the ladies. Lord, let me don't kill him today. Amen.
See?
Because I think every woman go through that. Lord, don't kill him today. Just take a deep breath.
And when we say adulting in relationship, guys, let me just throw some things out there, right?
Yeah,
it's a big umbrella. There are moments in your life where you feel to just run in front of us, for want of a better word.
Well, we have to stop saying that.
Yeah, we have to
I want
stop saying
us to
that.
stop saying those kind of things because somebody spoke to me about it yesterday. Those images. So let's try and stay away from images like that.
All right.
Making a left on the
young.
Yeah.
That's a statement I use.
So we need to stop.
You guys, I will. Well, it's
we find
all about.
another
Yeah, but it's.
But they talking the truth. They talking the truth. To be an adult in a relationship is to have a healthy relationship with oneself. It really is. And many people, many of us, myself included, there have been times where I've had a very unhealthy relationship with myself. You know? And here's the thing. We've got so many people talking about relationship, and I'm not here to besmirch any voice that's out there, okay? I'm not here to denigrate any voice that's out there. And the reason being is because relationships are ubiquitous. Everybody is born into a relational construct. As the great Krishnamurti said, there is no end to relationship, right? We're in it. So I can't invalidate your experience of it. So this is why I tend to respect everybody's opinion about relationships. You have certain people that try to create a stratosphere, right? Or a hierarchy or a category. Oh, how can you talk about relationship if you're not married? Well, it's quite simple. We're born into relationship. We're always in relationship. And the same tools you use in cohabitation, and I'm talking about psychological tools, you use those tools in marriage. If you have a maladaptive attachment style in a marriage, right? And you have a maladaptive attachment style in a cohabitating relationship, you're going to have some of the same problems. Now, the stakes are higher because of the social ramifications, the legal ramifications of being in a marriage. But again, to relate is to emulate what you modeled in childhood. Did you hear me? Most people do not know how to relate without their attachment style. It's really that simple, right? Relationships are about growing you up spiritually. What is the mechanism of growing yourself up spiritually? It's quite simple. The mirror of relationship, the mirroring that takes place in relationship. Why is it that this person is able to tap in and trigger me in such a way that I'm somehow like, how is it? Nobody else can tap in the way this person taps in, right? That's because they mirror you. There's something in them that asks the question to something in you. That's how it works. Our central nervous system locks up together. Our traumas bond with each other. You get what I'm saying? Our attachment styles recognize each other. This is all school. And if you're not trying to evolve spiritually, then what is the purpose of relationship? When I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines and we're going to talk to you guys about it.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin says the civilian death toll in Gaza is far too high. Austin, who is black, made the comment in a recent meeting and said the amount of humanitarian aid reaching Gaza is far too low. The Pentagon chief said there needs to be an immediate increase in assistance in Gaza to avert famine and called for expanding aid deliveries by land. Israel has blocked the UN's Palestinian Relief Agency from making aid deliveries in northern Gaza, calling the agency a front for Hamas. The Windy City will restore the Chicago Remembers Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Black Mayor Brandon Johnson's office announced the memorial located on the city's Riverwalk will be repaired. It has the engraved names of more than 2,900 Illinois veterans. Officials say several names have faded and become difficult to read. Chicago will hold an event at the site on Friday in observance of National Vietnam Veterans Day. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Drought, war, and rising food prices have doubled the number of families facing malnutrition. You can help. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough.
Have you fallen behind on your water and power bill? LADWP has made paying your past due bills even easier. Sign up anytime online for Level Pay to get set monthly bills that include past due amounts. Or check out the special extended payment arrangements of up to 48 months to help pay down your bill. Visit ladwp.com/cares and sign up today. That's ladwp.com/cares.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
healthy relationships be boring as sometimes. Like when you really start to find your, like I'm saying this as fresh in the 30s. I got a new appreciation for boring, my. Right. I got a whole new appreciation for not just being able to sit the down with me and mine and not have nothing, ain't on fire, don't nobody need me to leave the house, I'm good. So while you young, yeah, it seemed like you want exciting every day, but I'ma caution you, because thing too, like the caution, when you always looking for excitement from your relationship, you gonna start expecting the person across from you to perform for your entertainment, you feel me? And that's not nobody's job, bruh.
Yes,
like,
it is.
Like,
Go tap dance.
Like if y'all want to add new layers to y'all relationship because the old shit ain't working, you need to figure out ways to become a new person. You know what I'm saying? Do some new shit in your own life so your partner got some new shit to learn, and let them do some new shit in their own life so you got some new shit to learn. But actual excitement, bro, that ain't their job.
My. Yes, my. Hey. Listen, your relationships are going to reflect everything you haven't done for yourself. Let me say it again. Your relationships are going to reflect everything you have not done for yourself. I want you to listen to this. A strong relationship requires choosing to love each other, even in those moments when you struggle to like each other. Now, why is that significant? See, I'm not a quoteaholic. I don't give a damn about quotes. But let me say, if you're going to use a quote, especially for relationships, you gotta invert it, right? Many people are outward in their relational expression. Let me read the quote again. A strong relationship requires choosing to love each other, even in those moments when you struggle to like each other. Well, let's invert it. You got to do this for you first. It won't work with you doing this for somebody else. You know why? Because energetically, they're going to know this is a pantomime, right? This is a performance. You're doing this because you don't want to lose me. You might be a codependent. You might be an SLDD, a self-love deficient person. Let's read it again. A strong relationship requires choosing to love each other, even in those moments when you struggle to like each other. You gotta love you, even in the moments you struggle to like you. Do you know most of us have spent most of our time building our facade, our image, because we don't like ourselves? A lot of what we do, a lot of what we try to accomplish in life is to get away from the fact that we really don't like each other. Or ourselves, excuse me. We really don't like ourselves. We really don't approve of ourselves. So we try to get the best mate. We try to get the best education. We try to get the best car, the best living space. We try to have money because we want all of these things to speak for us. Man, but when you love yourself, that's when you shift from a demander into a commander. See, when you are commanding things, you're not asking. Your spirit is causing the world and reality to capitulate in your presence. Did you hear, brothers? I see so many weak brothers who are defined by what they accomplished. Ooh, oh. Take away their accomplishments. Who and what are they? Listen, you are more than what you can do. That's what Iyanla said. You are more than what you can do for somebody. See, this is what makes you a demander. All the things you have done, all the things you have achieved, you walk into the relationship entitled with this demand in your spirit that says, You know who I am? You know what I've done? Nah. You have to become a commander. Every relationship has its problems. But what makes it perfect is if you still want to be together when things go wrong. Oh, because things are going to go wrong with human beings. Huh? Things are going to go wrong with human beings. Right? And if you don't know how to be in a relationship with a human being, that is a telltale sign and a red flag for me that you hate yourself. How many people you sit down with and you talk to them, are you hard on yourself? Oh, I'm really hard on myself. I beat myself up all the time. I just, yeah, you don't like yourself. See, sometimes having kids teaches you this, right? For some people, anyway. I know me, having children taught me, man, you can't beat up on your son, your sons, or your daughter the way you beat up on yourself. And that's when it dawned on me, boy, you beating up on yourself. Do you understand? I had to extend, being a father taught me how to extend grace to them. I can't hold them to the same standard. And then I started to realize, oh, wait a minute. Why are you doing that to yourself? Do you see? The mirror of relationship will lead to spiritual maturity. Problems in relationships occur because each person is concentrating on what is missing in the other person. That is Wayne Dyer. I loved Wayne Dyer's work. I want to read that again. Let it sink into your spirit. Problems in relationships occur because each person is concentrating on what is missing in the other person. See, you're looking for what's missing in them because you need it to not be missing so you can plug the hole in yourself. But that's not how you plug. You can't plug an internal hole from an external source. They don't connect. They reflect, but they don't connect. Tonight's topic is a sermon. It's a sermon examining adulting in relationships. What does it mean to function as a fully fledged adult in a relationship? How can relationships between adults remain functional in the midst of adverse life events? I'm tired of childish adults trying to relate. Listen, I don't want to do it no more. Do you want to do it? Do you want to continue to do it? Get to your phone lines. We got full phone lines already. I'm going to talk to y'all, I promise. But I wanted to frame it up right tonight. All you got to do if you want to join the discussion is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, you're up next.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hey LA, be an eco-friendly hero. Join LADWP's Power Savers program and use your smart thermostat to help ease strain on the electric grid during peak electric demand. You'll save electricity while you lower your bill. Plus, as a power saver, you can get up to $185 in prepaid gift cards. Don't have a smart thermostat? No problem. Shop and sign up at ladwp.com/Power Savers program. That's ladwp.com/Power Savers program. To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Are you tired of being stuck without internet access? Connect and go with LA County Library. It's simple. Visit your local LA County Library location and borrow a hotspot for free to get Wi-Fi wherever you are.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, friends, I'd love to do some myth busting. And it's time to tell ourselves the truth because some of you don't want to hear the truth. That's what's real, okay? Especially around this relationship class. I've heard a lot of pushback. So let's tell ourselves the truth. Myth number 1, hey, we're fine. Sure you are, but relationships are cycles. And you might be in a fine space now, but you may not be in 3 months or 6 months. Myth number 2, we're not the kind to do a couples class. Okay, that's a cop-out. Myth number 3, we've already got tools. Sure you do. I want you to name 5 of the tools you can use right now. Not possible. Our brains are a jumble of thoughts constantly going around, and most of us have a restless mind. We don't know how to get to peace of mind, especially when it comes to relationships. Our relationships and the way that we're hardwired, the way that our brains actually work, is that we are constantly being bombarded with thoughts and beliefs from past heartbreak. It can be no other way. And I don't care if you're with your first love, like Ray and I are first loves. We still had heartbreak before we came into this relationship or heartbreak we experienced together. We are hardwired to repeat those past situations if there's no pattern interrupt. Again, I know this is hard hitting, but we need to tell ourselves the truth. So rather than cop out, why not come and get some real world tools so that whether you're on the upswing or riding high at the top of that cycle, maybe you're on the slippery slope down, you can use these tools because we all want connection. We all want to be with our partners and feel that deep, abiding love, to feel cherished, respected.
Pause it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Pause it. Listen. Do you know breaking up is an empowerment move now? Because of what she just said. She said, name 5 tools you got to fix it. Most people don't. They can't even name 5 tools. They haven't even cultivated one tool. Haven't even recognized a tool. Name 5 of them. And what level of optimization are they at? Do those tools have they had an oil change lately? Have those tools had a tune-up lately? Do you understand? Sometimes breaking up is more empowering than making up. Do you see? We live in a unidirectional world in terms of relationships. As long as I'm getting what I signed up for, this is a success. Tell me I'm lying. Somebody call in and say, Zoe, you a bald head liar. This is golden because I'm getting what I signed up for. Not I'm giving what I'm giving or what I'm getting. Not I'm giving what I'm getting. Come on. Let's be real. Listen to this. All right. This is Eric Fromm. Love is the only sane and satisfactory answer to the problem of human existence. You got people running around swearing to God they love you. Swearing to God they love is true. But when they get overwhelmed, and I understand attachment style, some of them get overwhelmed. Dismissive avoidance, fearful avoidance, anxious preoccupied, even securely attached people get overwhelmed. But this is why I say love is so rare. Just say what it is. It's attachment. And when the attachment wanes, the only source of empowerment seems to be what? Discard. That's just what it is. Oh, I'm looking forward to being single again. I'm looking forward to seeing what my options are. I'm looking forward to dating again. There are people out there that are like that. And then at the same time, there are people out there who struggle with both feelings. I don't want to get out there. The only person I'm comfortable with being with is myself. And I'm only comfortable with being with myself to a certain degree. Being with myself means watching my shows. Being with myself is interacting on Instagram or social media. Being with myself is eating my favorite foods. But if I ask you to get naked with yourself in front of yourself, oh, no, I don't want to do that. What we doing? This is, how many times have you been around people that say, this is getting a little too deep? I didn't want to get this deep. Well, what you think the relationships are the deep end of the pool? Okay, I'm going to stop setting up. Let's get some callers in here. Sean, Oakland, California, get in here.
Brother Zoe, this one's an amazing one. You know, the first thing that makes me think about it is, you know, we all of us, every single one of us, right, has to make sure we're in a mindset of the fact that when the hound is sniffing, you need to know how to deal with the hound, right? And I'm saying this because I'm very pro LGBT, everything. I don't care. I don't discriminate against anyone. But if we're just talking guy and girl, right? The hound is out there sniffing. He's hunting. He's doing his thing. So, what I would say is you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you can help anyone else, right? And I'm talking to girls now, see? I'm talking to the ladies. You have to put your mask on first, take care of your business, and make sure that, what you're looking for in a relationship, because there's nothing perfect in a relationship. It usually is going to have multiple failures throughout. I know that doesn't sound great. I don't mean to be negative, but if you want reality, you be the positive change in that relationship, right? Put your mask on first, put that oxygen mask on, get your oxygen, and make sure that you're going to penetrate your relationship in a positive way. But if not, hey, some people like multiple partners and do all that. That's none of my business. That's all good. If you want a single partner to be with you and doing that teamwork thing and hang that long-term kind of thing, then you're going to have to deal with failure and problem solve, but always take it easy on one another.
We love it, Sean. Thank you, man. You brought Oakland in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We are on absolute fire tonight. I love tonight's conversation. It's a deep one. Listen, the more space you allow and encourage within a relationship, the more the relationship will flourish. Some people say, what are you talking about, Zoe? Wayne Dyer said that. Do you know what Wayne Dyer is talking about? He's talking about freedom. How many of you can honestly say you feel free in your relationship? Free to be you, your real self. Not the show you put on that got this person, but the real you. How many people? When I come forward, we're going to dig even deeper.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin